Hello and welcome back. We're here today to do a review of the Lenovo 100S ThinkPad 14-inch version. Now, if you've seen my previous version video, which I'll try to either make a link floating around up here somewhere, or if nothing else, I'll put it in the comments down below. We've already reviewed the 11-inch version of this laptop. Lenovo 100S, Lenovo 100S. You would think that since this is just an 11-inch screen and this is a 14-inch screen, they would pretty much be the exact same thing, just with different screen sizes. That's what I thought, and if you think that too, you would be completely wrong, just like I was. There are some major differences between these two laptops. Some surprising differences between these two laptops. So, let's start out. I'll go through a list of specs for this one and do some minor comparisons to the other one, and we'll tell you the weaknesses of this one or the strengths of this one, and see what you think at the end. First things first, this comes with the Celeron N3050 dual-core processor with integrated graphics. The 11-inch version comes with the Atom quad-core processor, also with the integrated Bay Trail graphics. This one has the 14 nanometer transistor process. Just means everything is teeny tiny in it, and it makes it so that they can use very little power. This is rated at 1.6 gigahertz, but it'll boost up to 2.16. Which is nice because it helps make things run smoother when it can boost and make things go quicker than they might otherwise normally go. The Bay Trail graphics on the graphics on this are supposed to be about twice as fast as the Bay Trail graphics on the Atom processor, but really I haven't noticed any difference. For your casual stuff like YouTube, Minecraft, Netflix, things like that, I really haven't noticed a difference. Neither of them suffer for video on your average day-to-day stuff. YouTube, Minecraft not included in the list, we'll get to that. Power on this is only 6 watts, that's what the processor requires, which means it doesn't produce a lot of heat and you can cool it passively. That means you don't need a fan. The fans create noise, and they take energy, so this makes your battery last longer by having a low power processor. RAM included on this is the same 2 gig non-expandable DDR3 low voltage RAM that the 11-inch version uses. It's soldered onto the motherboard. You can't remove it or replace it or expand it, so you're stuck with 2 gigs. Storage on this one, unlike the 11-inch, is larger though. This comes with 64 gigs of onboard storage. I would say hard drive space, but it's not a hard drive in these. What they do is basically take the same kind of chips that they would put in a thumb drive, the eMMC chips, and solder them onto the system board here. This has 64 gigs of storage, and out of the box it comes with about 40 or 45 gigs free, which is really nice. They don't put a lot of crapware or bloat stuff on this, which I really like. There's just not room for it. But that 64 gigs as opposed to the 32 gigs in the 11-inch version is a massive difference. You wouldn't think it would be, but on the 32 gig, you really have to manage what you put on that laptop. If you install much of anything, you're already running low on storage space. When it does Windows updates and things like that, sometimes it needs a large amount of space temporarily to put those files so that it can process the update. And if you run out of, or if you're running low on space on this, it can't do that. So you really have to be careful about managing it. Thankfully, both laptops have a micro SD card in them that you can put up to a 256 gig, I think is the limit, micro SD card. I've added a 32 gig card to the 14-inch one just for some extra storage. I put documents and music and pictures and things like that on it. And I put a 64 gig in the 11-inch. Anything that will let me choose where I install it, I put on that micro SD card and keep it off of the storage space built into the laptop on that one. You have to do that if you want to put anything at all on this, because like I said, you have to really manage that space. If that 11-inch came with 64 gig standard, it would be so much better. But it is what it is. So anyways, on to the screen. The screen size on this is 14-inch. It is the 1366 by 768 high def screen. It's not the super high resolution that you find in some laptops, but unless you're into some really high-end graphics manipulations, you're really not going to notice it. See if I can get a angle here. Oh, yep, you can see the glare on that right now. This is the glossy screen. The 11-inch comes with a matte screen. Now, I've got a friend of my daughter's who broke her screen on her laptop. So I looked online to see if you can order replacement screens. You can get them in either glossy or matte. They run about $45. It's a standard generic screen for these, so they're very easily available, very easy to replace too. Battery on this thing is fantastic. Advertises a 7-hour battery life. Under light use, you could get 7 to 8 hours out of it. If you're doing video, Minecraft, things like that, they may drop down to 5 or 6, but even 5 hours of video, that's great. For such a tiny little thing. It's 3.3 pounds and just under a quarter or 3/4 of an inch thick. So, I mean, that's a lot of battery life in something so small, in a Celeron processor. The Atom processor's got it beat, with the Atom sips energy a little bit slower, even though it's a quad-core processor. So you're going to get a little bit better battery life out of that one, but both of them really fantastic. Now I had mentioned Minecraft, so let's talk about that for just a second. Out of the box, if you install Minecraft on this, it's going to suck. Pretty much just unplayable. You're 10 frames per second, maybe, if you're lucky. What you're going to want to do is load the Optifine add-on to this. It'll tune your graphics. I don't know how they do it, but it's magic. You get 45 plus frames per second out of it after that. So Minecraft with Optifine on either laptop is absolutely fantastic. Your simple Java-based games like you might find on Facebook or something are fine, but any higher-end games than that, they're not gonna do it. So don't even try. Sound. This is one of those surprising things. I thought, this is 11-inch, this is 14-inch. It'd be the same sound, just it's a bigger laptop. Again, I was wrong. The sound on the 11-inch, if you go look at my review on that, is magnificent. I don't know how they squeeze such beautiful sound out of such a small device, but it's fantastic. The 14-inch, it sucks. I don't know how they could fail so miserably on the sound on this thing. It's tinny, that has no bass response whatsoever. It's flat, and no matter how you tweak the software, which lets you go through the entire graphics equalizer from bass to treble, and like those old slide things like we used to have back in my day, you can tweak the sound on that, and no matter what you do, it still sounds like crap. So if you're going to buy this for sound out of these speakers, skip it. Find something else or get this one. If you use headphones with it, it's going to be fine. This does have, among its other ports, it has a full-size HDMI, so you could plug it into your surround sound system or your TV and let that carry the sound for you, and that would be fine. But this, for just general stuff, your sound is not going to be any good. Ports. This has the full-size HDMI out, one USB 3 and two USB 2 ports, the micro SD card slot, and a 0.3 megapixel camera with dual microphones. The 0.3 megapixel camera is going to be fine for Skype or simple YouTube work, but for any high-end YouTube stuff, you're going to have to get a clip-on external camera. Thankfully, those are pretty cheap these days, but it'd be nice if the built-in one was just a little bit better. That's not a deal breaker, though. You don't buy these really for the camera. This is advertised, last I checked, on Lenovo's website for $250, but you can find it all over the place cheaper. I got this on sale for $150. So did I got the same price on the 11-inch. So you can buy both of these for $300 if you search around, which is about the same price or less than a lot of other entry-level laptops. Then you could have two. So that's a pretty good deal. The 14-inch comes only in silver, last I heard, and the 11-inch only in red. My daughter has already customized it with her own little sticker on here. 50 points to the first person that can tell me what that sticker is too. If you can identify it, you're a fan. Other little tidbits of information: it has Windows 10 Home 64-bit, has Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is really good. It has Bluetooth 4.0. Does not have a CD-ROM drive or DVD drive, no kind of optical drive. It's just too thin. You'd have to get an external drive. And has a microphone audio combo port and standard like Logitech style trackpad. Really nice trackpad. The trackpad works well, feels well. The whole construction feels good. I mean, when you hold it, you don't feel like you're holding a military grade piece of equipment, but it feels good and solid. It feels nice in the hands. Construction feels pretty good on it. So, and I really haven't had any issues with either one, with durability or anything like that. So I think they're pretty well built for the price. Now you would think these laptops also, since they're the same model and they have the exact same plug size for your charger, would share the same plug, or the same charger, but you'd again be wrong. I still don't understand Lenovo's reasoning behind this. The 14-inch comes with a 20-volt 2.25 amp charger. The 11-inch comes with a 5-volt 4 amp charger. Totally different voltages. I don't know the need for that. Why couldn't you, if you're going to have the same model number, have designed it to use the same charger? I'm pretty sure that would have been possible somehow. The chargers, these are really flimsy. This is the one weakness, definite weakness of the whole thing. My daughter put this in her bag, had it on the bottom, and the bottom of the laptop just bounced on this and broke it. So it doesn't take a whole lot. You can get replacements. I think I paid like $25 for a non-Lenovo branded replacement. But, you know, that's not too bad. But be aware of that. Just be careful with them. Another difference between the two would be speeds. The Celeron is supposed to be a faster processor than the Atom, but when I did side-by-side comparison tests on some things, the Atom's actually more usable. I get more usable speed out of it. For example, I took a 1-minute 10-second video clip that I had recorded with my phone. It's a Galaxy S7, and used Microsoft Movie Maker to render that to a high-definition 1080p video, 1 minute 10 second. When you load it into Movie Maker, it has to process it before you can actually start using it. With the Celeron processor, it took about 54 seconds to do that, and with the Atom, about 41.5 seconds. So not a massive difference there, but where you really see the big difference in the quad-core especially versus the dual-core is when you do the output to that 1080p. The Celeron took 4 minutes and 18 seconds to output that video. The Atom processor took 2 minutes and 29 seconds to do the same video, so almost twice as fast. Big difference. And you will notice every once in a while when you're doing something that needs a little bit more horsepower like that, you'll see the 11-inch with that Atom processor has a slight edge. Other than higher end things like that, you won't notice a difference between the two because they're both at the lower end of the processor spectrum and so forth. So which would I, if I only had to choose one, which would I spend my money on? I would have to go with the 11-inch. I like the size, I like the screen, I love the sound on it, I like the battery life. The only thing I don't like about it is the storage, but I'm able to actively manage the storage, so I can do that. If you're not computer savvy and don't understand what I mean when I say actively manage your storage, and you plan on taking a lot of photos, putting a lot of music and things like that on your laptop, you're probably going to want to get the 14-inch version, because that extra storage space really makes that big of a difference. Other than that, if you guys have used both or own one or both or the other or whatever, tell me what your comments are and what you think about them. All in all, I got these for my daughters, which are both preteen. So the price was right for them, and the abilities are right for them. As they get older and get into high school, I'll probably have to upgrade and get something a little bit more powerful because they're going to need it. But to start out with, these are fantastic little laptops. And for your average person that doesn't need a whole lot, your internet research, some word processing, things like that, these are great for the price. So that's my review. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share this, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks and have a great day.